Hello, my beautiful children of the stars. Today I want to talk about the new moon in Scorpio and the Halloween energies. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can work with these energies, specifically with those deep, dark shadows, looking at those things that you usually don't like to look at in your life and how to transform them. You are divine. Those who are new, welcome. I'm Natasha, Cosmic Empress, here today on this glorious fall day. I've found a beautiful little spot to film at, close to my house. Take a look at this. This is an old train station. These are the train tracks, and it's not used anymore. The trains don't really go here anymore. But as you can see, we have the full fall colors. Well, you know, the leaves are almost down in many places. You can see it's quite bare, but I love those changes of the seasons. Okay, now let's get right into it. The new moon in Scorpio truly gives us an opportunity to go deep. We know Scorpio energy likes to go deep. Scorpio energy is very emotional. It lets us look at power, how we perhaps use or misuse power, how others have power over us. The Scorpio new moon on October 27th really can give you an opportunity to look at the shadow sides of your relationships, okay? Now what's happening is that the earth is hiding the moon in its shadow. That's why the sky is dark, and when things are darker, we are able to look at the shadows. We're able to look at the dark things. They tend to rise up a little more and they become visible. On that day of the new moon, I invite you to kind of slow down and to really take a very hard look, a very good look at your relationships, especially to the people close to you, to the people around you. In these times, old wounds may come up from old relationships that you haven't quite healed yet, or old wounds that seem to have healed but are still festering beneath the surface. And this is a perfect time to really take a clear look at them, to slow down and not be afraid to analyze your relationships a little bit. Where do you feel that there's been a little, imbalance of power in your relationships? Where do you feel that you have been on the downside or maybe on the upside scale, on that part of a relationship in your life where you are using your power just a little too much? So that theme in your relationships of power, how equal are you? What is your energy exchange? What kind of energy is there in your relationships that perhaps you don't feel so good about? It's not that hard. Usually we just don't want to look at that. Usually we just go day by day. We go along in our daily lives without really taking a deep look at it, because it can be dangerous. Once we start dissecting our relationships too much, there's danger that something may need to change, or you may need to deselect someone, or if you decide to change the relationship dynamic, there's always like this danger of, okay, is that person going to play along? Are they going to leave? What's going to happen? But right now is a perfect time, because it is a time of transformation. It is a time that is really conducive to people being receptive to change, because truly in our hearts, we all want to have really good, balanced relationships, right? Often we're just stuck in certain roles. We've learned that we have to be like that. The men are stuck in their roles as the providers, as the fathers, as the strong ones. We know all that. We women are often stuck in those roles of, being the nurturers, giving everything up for the man, sacrificing ourselves for our children's sake, and so on and so on. So I want you to just take a really good look. Take a good look. How do you feel in those relationships around you? Do you feel completely balanced? Are you happy with everything that you're doing in that relationship? Or is there a resistance? Do you truly not want to do what you're doing? So take a look at that. And now is the time to actually change it, to do something about it. And it's a good idea to do a little clearing ritual. Once you kind of know what's going on, once you have dared to take some time, and once you've taken a look at those relationships, you can clear the negative energies from that relationship. And it's very easy. A lot of you say, well, how do I clear it? How do I clear things? One way is to write it down. Write it down. Just take a pen and start writing. In my relationship to my husband, I feel that I am doing more and he's doing less. I feel that I am too much in the traditional role of a woman. I feel that I'm always doing everything around the house. I'm doing more. Just write that and see how that energy feels. And then bring it to a point. Say, I am doing a lot of obligation energy in this relationship, or I am doing a lot of sacrifice energy in this relationship and I don't want to do it anymore. Write that down or speak it out. And then all you have to do is just speak out. I hereby release and clear the energy of obligation in my relationship with my husband. This is an example, right? Speak it out. Feel it in your body. Become aware of it. And that is enough to really start making some changes, to start bringing about real changes in that relationship. It's not that hard. So I invite you to do that with all your relationships. Make a little list of all the relationships that are important to you. And then just take a look where there is an energy where you are actually physically every day doing things that you don't really want to do, that you're like, oh, I don't really feel good about this. I'm kind of suppressing myself too much, or I am dominating too much. I am controlling too much. All those things are going to hold you back. All those things are not truly aligned to who you are at soul level, and they're not going to serve you in the end. So right now is a good time to do that. And then what you can do, once you've cleared it, once you've spoken it, once you've waved your sage wand, once you've done your own little ritual, then you can just start to visualize how you want that relationship to be. How do you want it to be? What kind of energy do you want? And just start changing your actions. Just start doing things differently. And it's not really that hard. And many times, the people that we love, the people that we're in relationship with, they're not really gonna be against it. In truth, the people who we love and who are around us want the best for us too. So sometimes people just take as much as they can. And if you put up your boundaries a little bit, if you change the dynamic a little bit, they'll be okay with it as well. Every day, what you're doing, change little things. And those relationships that really need to deselect themselves, that are really, really not aligned, now is a good time to let them deselect as well. It's a really good time to do that. So that is the Scorpio new moon energy that is excellent for this type of transformation. I know it sounds simple, but sometimes to start to create change in our life, we have to do small, simple things, because making huge changes and doing dramatic things, sometimes we just can't do that. We don't want to do that. Then we do nothing. So start with those steps. Now, the Halloween energies. Ooh, Halloween. This for me is a subject that is a little bit controversial, because you know that I'm all about the light. You know that on this channel we are light workers, we are way showers, we are divine seekers, we are seekers of wisdom, and we want to bring as much light and love into our lives as possible. So the question is Halloween. It's kind of like, it feels like a dark time. It feels like a time where the veil between the worlds is a little more open. And because so many people are celebrating, like they're celebrating the ghosts and the hauntings and all that dark stuff, I feel at this time of year, the portals are open, right? But the portals to the underworld. If you haven't watched that video about the fourth dimension, positive and negative, the astral realms, positive 5D, minus 5D. Go ahead, watch that video. I'll link it right there, because I feel this is a time where access to those lower dimensions, and from them to us, that access in between the different dimensions is easier than normal. Because it's time to look at other negative aspects in our lives. It's time to look at other negative influences that we may be struggling with. It's time to look at perhaps those negative energies, entities, attachments, earthbound spirits, all that negative stuff. It's that one time of year where those themes are coming up, and it's a real thing. I truly believe that. So if you are watching this and if you're thinking of, oh yeah, dabbling a little bit, maybe with a Ouija board, perhaps you are going to a party, perhaps you are wanting to do a little witchcraft, a little bit of a spell, something like that, I would advise you to be really, really careful, because dabbling with those things can lead to you opening portals and calling forth dark energies, entities, and yes, we're going to name it by what it's called. You will be calling forth demons. You will be calling forth negative souls that can attach to you and that can really compromise you. Okay, you know that I've worked with many clients, and a lot of clients I've worked with do have negative entities attached to them because they have dabbled in witchcraft, because they have dabbled in doing spells, because they have done a lot of drugs, they have done a lot of things that brought them into a very open, very vulnerable space, that have brought them into a vibration that matched the vibration of those negative beings. So I just want you to be very, very careful at this time of year so you don't get any more attachments. And also, this time of year, because the portals are open, is a good time to truly start clearing yourself. If you haven't done any clearing work, I just mentioned how easy it truly is. If you feel that you have a lot of negativity, if you feel that you are being influenced by anything negative, now you don't really have to go searching and thinking, what is that? Is it a demon? Is it a thought form? What is it? What you can do is you can do your own little ritual. You can ask your heavenly team of guides, of angels, of spirit guides to help you, and you can ask to be cleared of any negative attachments, entities, or energies for yourself. You can do this. You can truly do this. And again, you can just perhaps take a moment to write down any negative thought cycles that you tend to be having, any negative energies that you perceive, any psychic attacks that you have perceived in the last 6 months. Anything where you feel that you haven't been 100% in control, hearing voices, things spiraling out of context, right? Any of those types of things that have happened to you, I would just write that down. And just write down how you feel, the feelings that you have of afraid, were you fearful, were you angry, were you worried, did you feel panicky? Did you feel compromised? Did you feel attacked? I would just become really aware of that, and again, just go and clear that. Say, I now clear myself of any negative entities, attachments, or energies that are compromising my divine soul blueprint. I am a sovereign being, and I hereby clear away all these energies. I clear away all these entities. I clear away all negativity, all negative influence from myself. And you can do this. And if you do this and calling in your team of angels and guides, this is going to happen for you. Because a little while ago when I talked about demons in a video, one viewer wrote, "Oh, but demons are lovely. Why do you want to clear them?" I'm telling you guys, demons are not lovely. They're anything but lovely. Unless you are really into working with negative forces, which I do not recommend at all. Like I was saying, I do not recommend it because there's always going to be the flip side. It's always going to be a bargain. Something is always going to come around and compromise you and give you a lot of problems. So it's not even worth it. It's not worth dabbling in negative and dark practices. It's really not worth it. Why would you want to have a negative demonic attachment, on you for the rest of your life, compromising you and taking you down? You just don't want that. You do not want that. So I really recommend you doing your own clearing. And like I said, it doesn't have to be in a certain way. You can just speak it out however you want that. Asking your highest team of light to come and help you, asking the archangels to help you. And also, again, closing any portals that have access to you. You can also say, I hereby close all portals not in alignment with my divine self-expression. I close all portals to the negative realms, to the astral realms, to any other realms. I close all portals to all negative places. Close those portals. That's all you have to do, right? You can maybe just walk around and start playing and start flinging energy with your hands, and it really works, right? You don't have to have a special initiation. You don't have to have special knowledge. I'm just telling you guys, clear yourself, close the portals, do some work, clear the negativity, clear the negative energies. Now is the time. Now is the time that these things will arise and show themselves. Now, in the next 1.5 weeks is the perfect time to work on all these shadow aspects of yourself, because the energies are congruent to that. So ask to see what you need to clear. Ask to get a clear picture. You can walk around today saying, show me, where are my negative energies? Where do I have a negative energy exchange? Where am I acting in a way that is not truly me in any of my relationships? Show me the shadows. Show me those things that are not congruent to me. Show me what I need to change, and then it'll come in. And you can do the same thing next week after the new moon. You can say, show me the negative emotions. Show me the attachments. Show me in my life where something is not congruent, where I have to clear something. Show me. And it will come up. It will come up for you. You will get an understanding because your spirit guides are there to help you. Right? So once you've done all the clearing, always remember to connect to the light. Connect to the light. Visualize what you do want. Go into the positive. After the clearing, we go into the positive. It's a 2-step process. So we clear and then we call in the light. Clear and call in the light. Clear and call in the light. Right? So that you don't just stop thinking of all the negative stuff that you've cleared. Then you start calling in the light, calling in the light codes, calling in the positive emotions, asking your angels and guides to help you bring positive people and things and energy and opportunities into your life because you have cleared yourself. And from that moment on, look forward. And that's basically how we do clearing. It's very, very easy. So now maybe let's do a little transmission. Let's do a little transmission with this with this beautiful maple leaf that I found. Canada, huh? Maple leaf, do you recognize it? They're huge. Okay, so let's do a little clearing transmission here. I'm asking my beautiful angels and guides, Archangel Michael specifically, Archangel Metatron, my beautiful spirit guides. I'm lending you my spirit guides, and I'm lending you the access right now. I ask that every person watching, please give support to every person watching to see their own shadows, to be able to work with their shadow side in these days. Help bring forth the shadow sides, those negative aspects that need to be cleared. And bring about that clearing. Bring about the clearing when the clearing is asked for. So all you have to do when you ask for the clearing and just say, bring in the light codes. Bring in those light codes. Clear what needs to be cleared and it shall be done. Clear what needs to be cleared and it shall be done. There was a little dog who just came, a big dog. just as I was clearing. Did you see him? I had my eyes closed. Now I ask to help with the clearing of all the negative energies, entities, souls, aspects, emotions, all the negatives. I ask assistance in the clearing of these right now. You know, time is not linear. We're clearing this right now for you as you do your clearing work when the time is right. Thank you. I'm getting the light codes that this clearing now, just receive this clearing. And when you do your own clearing work, this will be activated, and easily you will be able to release and clear all the negative energies, entities, demons, souls, thought patterns, illusions, thought processes, thought forms, portals. Close, 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 close all the portals. Closing the portals as you ask. All you have to do is watch this. Open yourself up to these codes and they will come in. Open yourself up to these beautiful archangels, to your own spirit guides who will work together with the spirit guides that I am lending to you right now. My beautiful spirit guide team of light will work with yours when you do your clearing, but you must do that clearing process. You must do it. This is not going to work alone. You must do this clearing process. Just speak out that you don't want any of the negatives anymore. Say, I clear them. I clear them now. I clear all negatives from my person, from my soul, from my body, from my energy field, in all dimensions, in all timelines, in all subtle bodies. I clear this now. You must say this once you've done that work that I told you to do, and then they'll be cleared. They'll be cleared. You are the divine creator of your experience. Remember that. Thank you so much. One yellow flower was just lit up right there at my foot. This is for you. This is the symbol of your transformation, of your renewal of the light. Look how beautiful that is. Divine. Namaste.